Hello, everybody. This is Moo.
And I am Maleficent, the mistress of all evil.
You wish.
I've heard that line so many times.
Just because you play Kingdom Hearts.
I did play Kingdom Hearts. I hate that boss battle. I did that boss battle, like, I swear, 35 times.
Oh my god. Well, she is the mistress of all evil, which you guys...
She is the mistress of all evil.
If you guys haven't guessed, we watched Sleeping Beauty.
We did watch Sleeping Beauty.
I love this movie.
I think visually, this is my favorite movie.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
At least my favorite 2D movie.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I mostly like it because the fairies are the main characters. Like, let's be real, like, the fairies are the main characters. They drive the entire story.
They do. And that was the thing that I was thinking about, that, we were talking about how Cinderella, people argue about whether or not Cinderella has agency, and I argue that she does.
Yeah, she does.
She has agency in a different way, and Aurora does not have the same level of agency that Cinderella does.
No, sorry, Aurora.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because you can tell from, like, the times when she is on screen that she's got, like, a character and she's got an attitude. But it's just, like, everything happens to her.
Right, exactly. Like, I guess the animators decided to take the time to focus on the fairies instead of her, and thus making them the ones with agency and them the main characters.
Which, I mean, is a constraint of the fairy tale.
It really is. I mean, you can only do so much before she's put to sleep.
That said, the character with agency is definitely Prince Philip, who is a smooth motherfucker.
Well, he has some agency. In the end, he only breaks out because of the fairies.
Yes, we have met before. You said it yourself. Once upon a dream,
Pew, pew, pew. He's got it.
I think that's my favorite moment in the movie.
He just, like, slides right the fuck in with that. That's so good.
It's really good.
Good job. Yeah, Prince Philip definitely is the most personality prince as of this movie. Of Sleeping Beauty, because Ferdinand, Snow White's prince, didn't have time, because they don't know how to animate dudes. And Charming, because they chose to focus on Cinderella and the mice, they didn't have time for him either. Even though he has one, you can kind of see it with Charming, but then the sequels came along. So just watch Cinderella 3 if you want more of that.
I love his moments in Cinderella 3.
Cinderella 3
but
is literally
go back
the
to the point, Prince Philip was the only prince who helps you in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
She's biased.
I'm still pretty salty over how useless the other princes were. I don't even remember if Snow White's prince was actually, like, a character.
He there? I don't recall him, like, being a thing.
I don't.
Poor Prince
I don't
Ferdinand.
remember. See, I still remember him as Buckethead because I saw that comic strip.
So your Snow White calls him Buckethead.
Anyway, let's talk about, okay, we just hit 3 minutes, so let's talk about your waifu.
We can go a little bit longer since we're not...
But you love your waifu.
I do love my waifu. I love Maleficent. She's my favorite Disney villain. Like, I think I like her design a lot. I like her voice. I like, her role in the story, because she has a really, like, strong villain with agency in that regard, because she's like, fuck this Sin Kingdom in particular.
And I mean, to me, there's a reason why she's, like, such a huge villain, like, in Kingdom Hearts, because she is, like, one of the most memorable Disney villains.
Definitely. Like, and, like, she can turn into a dragon, she's got, like, this cool design, this, like, great evil laugh, and, it has all these cool powers, because she's a dark fairy. So she can do all this cool shit, like, and she calls herself the Mistress of All Evil. That's a pretty big title.
I am the Mistress of All Evil.
She's the Mistress of All Evil. She'll let you know it repeatedly.
Over and over. Non-skippable cutscene.
You do not skip it. Dance, water, dance.
Oh gosh. That one was skippable.
Yes. So, like, I could see why she's watching Sleeping Beauty again, that she's the most memorable, and so she's definitely my favorite, and I joke she's my waifu, because I really love seeing her in anything, even though she's a huge bitch. She is a huge bitch. Oh my god, that's why she's good, man.
It's true.
She's a Mistress of All Evil. You can't be Mistress of All Evil without being a huge bitch. Come on,
it's true.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
Especially comparatively to the previous villains, she has more power than, say, Lady Tremaine does, whose pretty much only power is to make this one girl's life a living hell.
And the thing is, like, okay, so the Wicked Queen in Snow White and Maleficent, I would say, are both equally petty. Yeah. But the Wicked Queen did not have enough scope for her petty.
Definitely not.
Maleficent's petty just encompasses everything in the kingdom.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I should explain what she decides to do with Prince Philip when she captures him, and why she doesn't kill him right away. So, like, Aurora's kingdom is asleep, and she's asleep. Therefore, that entire kingdom, including the royal family line, everything I have to do with it is out for the count. And then Prince Philip is a prince of a different kingdom, so she has him captured, but she doesn't kill him. Instead, what she decides to do is to keep him alive until he's extremely old, then let him go to a point where he pretty much can't get to Aurora before he dies.
So petty.
and it'd be too late, too, for his kingdom, because...
It would be like 100 years later.
Yeah, because, like, the royal line would be, like, fucked.
Also, as an aside, it's really good that Disney didn't go with the other versions of Sleeping Beauty for this.
Yeah, you know, like...
Sometimes I wonder, like, for people who would have known, like, the original versions of fairy tales before Disney made these movies, like, it'd be like, oh, they made that into a movie?
Oh, great, the parts where the prince rapes her in her sleep and she has babies and gives birth to one of them and the other one sucks the splinter out.
And then she wakes up.
And she's like, well, I guess I'm marrying this guy.
Except he already has a wife.
Yeah, but they killed the wife because apparently she was an ogre the whole time or something.
Yeah.
I wonder why Disney changed that.
Fairy tales are hardcore.
They are.
There's some kind of moral about growing up there.
Somewhere. Don't go to sleep for 100 years.
Don't do it. Don't not invite the evil fairy to your baby's christening.
Yeah, I just think there's like a Tumblr post that goes around that's like about the social hierarchies in the fairy kingdom and how the king and queen like fucked up with not inviting Maleficent, but do inviting the three fairies because they taking sides in the fairy faction. If they invited all the fairies, then it would have been like a dick measuring contest, so to speak, where there's like, oh, well, I'm gonna make the princess have this. Well, mine is gonna be so much better because
like Aurora could have gotten some sweet dark arts powers from Maleficent.
Hell yeah, she could have. But because they chose a side of the fairy faction, the only way for them to not have Maleficent at all is if they didn't invite any fairies. It shouldn't have invited any fairies if they wanted to avoid Maleficent. So I like that, and I think about that when I watch the movie, and to me it makes sense. Like, that does make sense to me, as much as I know about Fae.
We can't understand Fae.
We cannot understand them. The Faes. Mm-hmm. And
they can't understand us.
They sure can't. And I always liked that. I thought that was interesting, because Maleficent being petty is pretty much a very Fae thing to do.
It is.
Like, fuck these people particular.
We said that a lot during this movie, fuck this XYZ in particular.
It really is true, because like it does feel like that in the movie. Fuck this bird in particular. Fuck these plants in particular. Fuck this child in particular. Loved by all. Also,
that was funny in hindsight after having seen Maleficent,
the live action, yeah.
And she really does say beloved by all who know her.
Yep. And then Maleficent gets to know her. Whoopsie.
I do love that moment, like Maleficent's oh shit moment in the movie Maleficent. Where she's like,
she sees the baby and goes, oh. It's like, well, aren't you gonna kill the baby? And she's like, no. Sweats.
Sweats nervously.
Not wanting to admit she fucked up. I fucked up so bad. Yeah, I'm glad that's what they decided to do. With all the faults that movie has, that's pretty clever how they did that. But we're not talking about the live action Maleficent movie.
She could for a long time.
I can talk about Maleficent for a long time if I wanted to, but just in general. But like,
we watched Sleeping Beauty. We're gonna talk about Sleeping Beauty.
We are gonna talk about Sleeping Beauty.
It is an art style that I really wish we had resources to go back to doing.
Oh god, it's so beautiful.
It's so well done. It's very outside the usual realm of Disney movies though, which is why I can see, even if you look at, in the Disney princess lineup, Aurora just has a different design.
She does.
From the other princesses. I mean, they did that redesign a couple years ago where they tried to make them... Okay, she has strong feelings on it. I don't have such strong feelings on it. I can see where they were going. They were trying to make everything a little more consistent between movies.
It didn't work, man.
Sleeping Beauty is just it's a beautifully geometric.
It's so geometric
aesthetic. And she's just different from the other princesses.
Also, congrats to Aurora, the first to have long hair in a Disney
We did
movie.
notice that. She is the first long-haired, and the hair moves wonderfully.
It moves so great.
Even in 2D. Oh, by the way, also congrats to that being her natural voice.
Congrats to Mary Costa, who had zero voice training, and her voice sounds like that. It still sounds like that.
Still...
She's still voicing Aurora.
I can't.
Today.
I can't.
I'm having. I always have troubles whenever I hear it because I'm like, how?
I'm like filled with like admiration, but also anger at the same time.
Jealousy. I'm so jealous. We were saying that maybe this is her origin story. She was also blessed by fairies.
Yeah, it's an autobiography. Sleeping Beauty is actually an autobiography.
I was in the 14th century for a brief amount of time.
I like that line. Well, this is the 14th century.
Oh God,
I do like that. Is funny.
This is the 14th.
That's still
century. Funny. Touch the spindle, touch it, I say.
And I mean, like coming off the heels of we just watched Lady and the Tramp, and then Peter Pan before that. This one really has aged well.
It has. It aged really well. It still looks great. Mm-hmm. It still sounds great. And
like I said, like the only thing, like Aurora supposedly being the protagonist, but having such little agency, like. That's the only thing that I really can take any fault with in this one.
Yes, it's kind of the same with Philip too, especially near the end-ish, because in the end it is about the fairies.
It is.
It really is. Like I don't know if they did that on purpose. Like I'm not entirely sure, but
they do go into it a little bit in the book when they were writing it. Mm-hmm. Particularly like how they came to the character of the fairies.
Right.
But it's yeah.
Yeah.
You put fairy characters next to human characters, and it's really hard to stack up.
Yeah, it is. And, like, you know, once again, it's the problem with the story, too. Like, Sleeping Beauty goes to sleep. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, also, I mean, something that I think is really interesting, and we're going way over time, but I don't care.
We can go a little bit over. This is our last one for the day.
But compare... just the technical aspects of Sleeping Beauty to Snow White, which was about 20 years prior.
Yeah.
Okay, Snow White, they were even having trouble with, like, when the dwarves were casting shadows, when they were marching, they had to be, you know, drawn with this transparent ink, and it was giving them so much trouble. There's so many shadows, just really wonderful things moving around. And then, okay, let's talk for a minute about the blue and pink dress.
Those poor animators.
As a painter, as an animator. It's like, whose idea was that?
Walt's idea.
Yeah, of course it was.
I'm blaming Walt because it's usually his fault with these kind of things.
You know, it'd be like, oh, look, we got the dress to change from pink to blue. It's like, oh, that's great. Do that like a million times more. And
they're like, when? Like, because near the end of the movie, the dress changes all the way until the very last frame of the movie.
The very last.
The very last frame. So that means those poor animators had to do that all the way to the end of the movie. Like, paint over it,
and like,
paint over again.
We don't think about it anymore because we have Photoshop, and it's like, okay, huge change. You know, I'm just going to change it here. It's like, no, you'd have to
duplicate it.
Mix all of those paints by hand.
Yep.
And paint every frame of that by hand and get it to change color smoothly. Like we're looking at the DVD menu right now, and it's got, you know, her dancing with Philip
with the dress changing,
and it's
so pretty.
It's not even like the frames are not repeating. Like each one just has to be done individually, and it's
all
just
the angles she turns to.
It's blowing my mind.
It's beautiful, and plus her hair is also moving, and Prince Philip is moving. It's really good. Like they've
and like his
so
cape,
much.
like everything flowing. We don't. And, you know, like, nowadays it's like, look at Moana's hair, look at Merida's hair.
Yeah.
You know, look at Rapunzel's hair.
Oh, man.
And it's different. Hair. It's just different because, you know, it is done in 3D, and it's not, I'm not saying that it's not technically demanding because it's extremely technically demanding.
Oh, hell yeah.
But just in a different way, and I think that we have to appreciate where we are coming from 1959?
1959 is when the movie came out, yeah.
1959, it's like...
It's so different. Amazing. I love Sleeping Beauty.
It's so difficult.
I love Sleeping Beauty so much. There's a lot to like about it, and I don't know, it's not everybody's favorite Disney movie, but I like Sleeping Beauty a lot. Like
visually, it is. I'd say my favorite.
Gorgeous. Is it my favorite Disney movie? I don't think so, but I really do like it, like a lot, and I gladly will watch it, like whenever. And if you
like, it's one of the ones that I would put up like in the background, and it's just you know, if I were drawing and I was just like wanted something to listen to, you know, it's one of those that I would put it up in the background, and it's kind of like for me, like Moulin Rouge. Like I don't really watch that one, but it's like I can look up at any point, and like any frame that my eyes land on is just really well composed.
It's beautiful.
That Grand Budapest Hotel is another one for me.
Oh, that's a good movie.
You know, it's just no matter what instance I look up at the movie, like it's just so well put together.
Also,
every frame of that movie.
I'm loving the purple and pink motif in the entire movie. It looks beautiful, beautiful. Everything about this movie is great. Well, not everything about this movie, but a lot of this movie is great.
Many things. That's why I'm saying aesthetically, it's like it's up there for
top notch, man. And when's our next princess movie? It's not for a little while, actually.
The next one
because the next movie after this is 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, we go for a while. Let's take.
I don't know when we get our that one. I don't know when we get our. Does Robin Hood counts as a princess movie? There's a princess in it. Oh, Maid Marian's a maid. What am I talking about? Like a maiden, I mean.
Maiden.
Black Cauldron has a princess. But she doesn't count as a princess movie, really.
Oh, Little Mermaid.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Little Mermaid, really.
Yeah, there's not another, like, formal Disney princess character until Little Mermaid, so 89, so 30 years later.
Holy shit. So this is the only princess we'll have for another 30 years.
You know, actually, in hindsight, we've had a lot of princesses in the past, like, 30 years.
It's because Little Mermaid did well.
That's true.
Blame Little Mermaid.
Actually, and I mean, even just looking at the list, like, there's fewer Disney princesses, or, I mean, there's more space between them than you would think.
Yeah, I mean, people, like, criticize Disney for that, but I think it's much more spaced out than one would remember it being.
Yeah.
As we were watching this, like, in a marathon, I could see, like, that, like, how different, how, you know, how much it changes, like, over time. And, well, actually, since this is gonna be, we're gonna be watching more movies on different, the next one will be 101 Dalmatians.
I love it. Okay, but can I point out?
Yeah.
So we're going from this, like, this beautiful, like, super intricate, like, all these wonderful hand-drawn things. We get to 101 Dalmatians. There's no money for inking. So let's just Xerox the pencils and use those for inks.
Disney, please.
Not saying it's a drop in quality.
It's a change.
It's a change.
Well, like, so we're getting close to the time where Walt passes away. And, because, like, Jungle Book was, it's not the last movie we worked on. Aristocats was the last movie he greenlit. And the final film produced while he was alive was The Jungle Book.
And then the last one released while he was alive was Sword in the Stone.
So, I eventually this is going to start getting, like, confusing around, like, when the Jungle Book, before the Jungle Book series. I think it was, Jungle Book wasn't released until after he died.
Yeah, it was the first one after he died.
So we're going to start to see, that's when the Disney Dark Ages, I guess is the word, gets closer and around that time, because
there was a lot of confusion going on because
they didn't know what to do because he died.
He passed away, and generally the group of people who were considered spokespersons for the Walt Disney Company were the 9 old men.
Yeah.
But it's not really like they were leaders per se.
No, they weren't Walt Disney. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is like,
I mean, there was not, a Walt Disney to step up after Walt Disney.
No, I mean, his brother was around and Roy did a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, he definitely did, but he wasn't Walt Disney. It was a big.
I mean, for me,
company.
If you're looking at it, like, there's a lot of parallels to, I don't know where Apple is going to be going.
Oh yeah, that's right. When Steve Jobs passed away.
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes when those real visionary people,
those big creators,
when they're gone, the focus of the company, kind of, because you can't replace them.
No, it's really hard to.
You can't replace those people, and so by nature, the company changes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an instance if that didn't happen, but I can't really think of one when, like, someone passes away. Like when Iwata passed away, for Nintendo. Nintendo's definitely has changed because of it, I think.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's going to keep changing because, a lot of those developers are, getting older and it's turning over to new developers.
Right. And also Walt, his death was kind of unexpected. Like, he had a cold for a while, but no one expected him to die. Like, just, it was very sudden. It wasn't like, oh, I'm dying, here's what I can do. He had no time to organize anything before his death or after his death. And there's a lot of rumors and hearsay about, oh, Walt had this when he was alive or had secret tapes or whatever. But no, not really. I don't think the Disney company would have been that chaotic if he did leave shit like that behind.
And we're going to say here that, like, as an artist, I admire Walt Disney's work a lot. Like, he was a human being.
He was a human being.
He was not a perfect person. He wasn't a saint. He was a douchebag when he had to be.
He was a little bit of douchebag.
Like, reading people's anecdotes about him, like, particularly in this book that came out, like, they speak well of him, but they acknowledge that, there were difficulties in working with him.
Yeah, especially since there's times, like, where, like, if he would make people feel bad if they, like, made him disappointed. It was one of those things like, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed in you.
But it's like, that's a method of effective leading.
It is.
Getting done the things that you are envisioning, the things that you want to get done.
Well, it was a very determined dude.
those are things that I do admire.
Yeah, so there's a lot I admire about Walt Disney, even though he wasn't a perfect person, like, by no means. And anyone who says otherwise is kidding themselves, and anyone who says on the other end of the scale is also kidding themselves. Like, come on, guys. He was just a dude that was really creative and smart, and
driven,
and had a brother that would keep his money.
Maybe that was the most important aspect of this here.
God bless Roy Disney. I know we've said it multiple times with recordings, but we really do appreciate Roy Disney.
We all need a Roy Disney in our lives.
We really do. Like, someone who could be like, okay, no, we don't have enough money for this.
He's spending too much money.
Thanks, Mr. Toad. But, yeah, so I'm glad Sleeping Beauty turned out so well, and I'm pretty sure it made money. I don't think they started losing money until around Jungle Book, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, just because people, were losing... Not that they were losing faith in the company, but just your faith gets shaken.
When Walt dies, yeah. And they're just like, wait, what do we do without Walt Disney? Because especially since he was such a big figure in the company. We'll probably talk more about his death when we get to that movie, too, because I think I'll be, like, thinking about, like, in terms of...
It's significant. Like, you notice it in the movies that come out during that time.
Yeah, like in the block of movies. Like when they reused animation in the next 3 in a row. After that, because they were very low on money, because they didn't make very much or during around that time period. They're trying to find their footing again. And it wasn't until Little Mermaid they really found it for a while.
I mean, there's some highs and lows during that period, but definitely, I mean, it's called the Disney Renaissance for a reason.
Indeed. And then, like, it has its... A lot of people call it the door cage. When they had that family feud with Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to Dinosaur. Which is going to be an interesting movie that I haven't seen in, like, I don't know.
I've never seen it.
15 years. I saw it on VHS.
I have never seen it. I had the McDonald's toys.
I also have... I remember the McDonald's toys way more than the movie. Is that sad? But, okay, do you have anything else to say about Sleeping Beauty before we wrap this one up?
It's a classic. Everyone should see it.
I agree. If you haven't seen it, go for it. If you are fond of Sleeping Beauty, it's as good as you remember it. It really is.
It really is. It's held up super well.
Oh, gorgeous movie.
And this is your first time to watch it on, like, a...
Big screen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really big screen? Yeah, like this? Yeah. I've always seen it on smaller screens, so it was nice to see it in the nice big screen.
Yep.
Fancy shit. But yeah, I recommend watching it. And actually, since we're on today, we're going to be ending today our Disney marathon and continuing at another time. And what did you think out of the movies we saw? Which one, I guess, would you choose as your favorite?
I think, just overall, I think my favorite one is still Cinderella.
Cinderella, yeah, it's pretty good.
Of these early ones. I mean, I think it's going to change, because if I had to pick, during the era from when Snow White was out to when Walt died, Jungle Book is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
But of the ones that we've watched so far, I think Cinderella's still my favorite. And I am going to say Three Caballeros is going to stand out for me. I had not seen that one before, and that is going to be with me for the rest of my life.
Three Caballeros, I'm not going to unsee it. So if you want an unforgettable experience, I guess watch that movie. You'll never forget it. You really won't. Yeah, I think my favorite, because I'm a little bit biased, is Sleeping Beauty, because I like Maleficent a lot. But Cinderella's... She is my waifu.
It's her waifu.
Stop. But I think Cinderella's a pretty good runner-up, and I do like Snow White. I think it still works as a movie, even though it does show its age. It still works, I think, overall.
That's an incredible accomplishment. It
really is. It's amazing sitting there knowing that they had nothing. But a handful of people and a lot of determination and being broke.
Super broke.
But yeah, it's so next time we do these, we're going to be watching 101 Dalmatians, where they had to make an entire new technology to make all those dogs.
Oh gosh.
So I guess any other things to say, or
nope?
Nope. I think I'm good. All right, we'll see you guys then with 101 Dalmatians.